Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show tonight. It's Saturday afternoon, the day before the NFC and the AFC Conference Championship. So we're going to be kind of reviewing some of those games. We're going to look at some player prop bets. We'll get into some numbers and some stats, and we'll kind of just try to get kind of frame these two games and see what we're working with. I'm going to hop into a screen share here, and I think before we get into the actual games themselves tomorrow, we need to look at some history. We need to look at some numbers, and just basically, I just want to frame these two games. So tomorrow, we're going to get the Bengals at the Chiefs. This is a 2 p.m. Central start. The 49ers and the Rams are the cap for this one. But I do think it's very important for us to study fantasy points allowed and things like that. We'll look at that. But I do think we need to look at what happened earlier in the season because these teams have a history not too long ago. So the Chiefs actually lost to the Bengals. I believe this was like week 16 or 17 of the regular season. Bengals win 34-31. Let's take a peek at the box score. Joe Burrow is magnificent. 30 of 39 in this game for a whopping 446 yards, 4 touchdowns, just a massive game here from Joe Burrow. So I do think we could see something very similar here. Pat Mahomes didn't play his greatest, only 259 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. I just think it's weird because he wasn't sacked at all. So I'm not sure what the issue was in this one for Patrick Mahomes. It looks like Darrell Williams had himself a game. But just analyzing the box score further, Joe Mixon did not play very well, 12 of 46 on the ground. Nobody else really ran the ball here. This was the huge Jamar Chase game. 11 receptions, 266 yards, and 3 touchdowns, 12 targets. Just insane. 11 catches on 12 targets. T. Higgins played fine, 3 for 62 on 5 targets. Joe Mixon, not so much used as a rusher, only 12 for 46, but as a receiver, 7 for 40 on 8 targets is nice. Tyler Boyd, 4 for 36 and a touchdown. Uzama, 4 for 32. Pirine, nothing. So there's going to be room here for the Bengals to get some numbers. If you're looking at the Chiefs, you're looking at Mahomes again, 259 and 2 touchdowns. Rushing, it looks like they were able to run the ball on these guys. 14 for 88 and 2 touchdowns. That's for Darrell Williams. Clyde Edwards not back in this one. Derek Gore did pop off 3 for 37. Mahomes had 25 yards on the ground himself. Nobody really had a big game in the receiving department. Mecole Hardman only 1 for 53. You see Tyreek Hill 6 for 40. He led the team in targets on the day. Kelsey 5 for 25 and a touchdown. I mean, he had 7 targets, but they did a good job of not letting him get loose. Only 5 yards per catch here. That's really low for Kelsey. He did get a touchdown, and Robinson get the other touchdown here. So I don't really know if we can learn too much from this one. Again, 2 rushing touchdowns from Darrell Williams that could easily have gone to Patrick Mahomes, but I'm just expecting this game to be kind of fun. So since this game is I guess it's the first game on the slate here, let's go ahead and check let's hop into the DraftKings Sportsbook. Hey, let's call out some of the guys that we think we might be seeing score touchdowns tomorrow. I did want to start with the conference specials. These are the DraftKings specials for the Bengals and the Chiefs. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd each to have 50-plus receiving yards. That is plus 330. That's kind of a fun one there. And again, earlier in the season, it was close. Boyd had 36 yards, but Higgins and Chase were both over. Wouldn't surprise me if that one does connect. Mahomes and Burrow to combine for 600-plus passing yards. That one, plus 140. That one actually does feel pretty likely. I mean, look at Burrow, 446 yards. Mahomes, 259. That basically puts it right there at almost over 700 yards in this last game. So I actually think that this one, that one actually feels kind of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and tap the 600-plus yard one. We have Kelsey or Jamar Chase to have 125-plus receiving yards, plus 200. It's probably going to be Chase if there's going to be one. Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce to combine for over 200-plus receiving yards. I actually kind of like that one. Again, last time these two teams met, they were bottled up. Hill only 40 yards, Kelce only 25. I mean, that's only 65, and now we're saying 200 here. So I'm intrigued, but I'd rather just take the Mahomes and the Burrow over passing yards. Tyreek to have a 50-plus yard TD reception, plus 450. So who's going to score for the Chiefs and the Bengals? They have Mixon as the guy with, I guess, Mixon and Tyreek Hill are the most likely to score tomorrow at minus 125, each at minus 125. And again, I'm not sure I trust Mixon in this one as a rusher, but again, they used him a lot as a receiver. He had 8 targets, 7 for 40 in this game. And again, the Bengals, came from behind in this one. At halftime, the score was 28-17. Chiefs did not score a touchdown the rest, I guess, in the third or the fourth quarter. The Bengals put up 17 points in those 2 quarters to 3. So Mixon playing from behind, I would imagine it's going to be kind of a similar recipe in this one here. So I don't know if I trust the Mixon one as much. I do like Tyreek Hill minus 125. I do like Travis Kelce minus 130. I think you could put a bet on both guys to score and hope for one of them at least. Jamar Chase is probably the guy with the best chance of scoring for the Bengals at plus 100. I'm going to put him down. I do find it interesting that T. Higgins is all the way down here, though, at plus 190. That seems a little strange to me. So I'm interested in the way that I've been doing this is say you take a Jamar Chase and you say you put a $25 bet on Chase and you put a $25 bet on Higgins. The chances that Chase scores are very likely. You're going to easily double up your money. But if you put money on Higgins to score, you're almost going to triple your money. Yeah, plus 190, you're almost going to triple it. So if Higgins scores and Chase doesn't, you covered yourself. If Jamar Chase scores but Higgins doesn't, at least you're getting your money back. So I would put money on a Chase and a Higgins. That's one of my favorite bets to do. I think in this game, because both guys are plus odds here. If you wanted to take a kind of a more obscure bet, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, again, just looking at some of the numbers. Well, let's actually, I want to go back to the Chiefs. Let's look and see what they did statistically against the Buffalo Bills. I think the Bills, strong defense. Let's see what they did here. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, only 7 carries for 60 yards. McKinnon did get 10 carries, and McKinnon 5 for 54. So McKinnon puts down over about 78 yards. So maybe we'll look at the yards. I don't know if I feel great calling a McKinnon touchdown, but I'm definitely intrigued there. I do think Edwards-Helaire, if they get in close, would have a good chance. Byron Pringle's been hot at plus 190. I think at plus 190, though, you got to take if you like Pringle at plus 190, you have to love Higgins at 190. Good evening, good afternoon to Justin there. We're just going over the Bengals and the Chiefs game. I'll lock in some props here with you guys, and we'll move on to the Rams and the 49ers next. The Pat Mahomes rushing touchdown is kind of fun at plus 225. I think that has a good chance of hitting. Tyler Boyd, Hardman, these guys are more like gambles. I don't know if I trust it. The Joe Burrow rushing touchdown could be kind of fun as well here, but nothing else really makes sense as a dark horse bet. So I think I covered the touchdowns for the most part here. You could always go with Uzama as well. As far as the passing props go, I'm taking both. I think I like both guys over the passing numbers. Let's actually check the Kansas City weather tomorrow. I just got to double check here. Kansas City, Missouri. The weather tomorrow, partly cloudy, 45 degree, high near 45, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. This looks pretty legit. This looks like a fine after Sunday afternoon here. Around 2 o'clock, it's going to be low 40s, low wind here. So nice day for weather-wise in Kansas City. Let me see. So I'm interested in both over passing yards for Burrow and Mahomes. I think people are smashing the over on Burrow to get 2 passing touchdowns. So I think you could take this prop bet, and I might be interested in going in on some more of those Chase and the Higgins touchdowns. So I think taking Burrow 2 passing touchdowns, you take a Chase, you take a Higgins, all that's going to cancel out and help each other win. Interceptions, not sure I like that. Passing plus rushing yards, Mahomes at 328.5. Completions, not sure I'm interested in that. So kind of some fun bets here. Mahomes at 2.5 passing touchdowns. Let me see what Justin says. Thoughts on McPherson 1.5 field goals, Mahomes 26.5 over on completions. Chiefs win, Mahomes over 281. I like the Mahomes over yards. I think it's going to be a lot. I'm not a fan of the running game that the Chiefs have been putting out there. So I like Mahomes over 291.5. I don't know what site you're using, but DraftKings is a conference special here. Mahomes and Burrow to combine for 600 plus passing yards. That one seems kind of fun to me. So I like both guys roughly over 300 yards. Mahomes 26.5 completions. Back when these two teams, let me actually pull that up. Let's see what Mahomes hit in this game earlier in the year. So this is a really strange box score just because The Chiefs were up 28-17 at halftime, only scored 3 points in the second half. Mahomes does end up with exactly 36 passing completions. If we look at Mahomes' game log, let's see here. Let's see how many times he's been over that number. So he's 2 of 2 in the postseason. He's had 33 and 30 for completions. Otherwise, let's go ahead and count the times he's not gone over 26 and a half. So I see week 2, the game against Cincinnati here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you've kind of got a 50-50 chance at getting it. I don't know if I feel great about that. I think if you're going to take the 291 and a half yards, go ahead and take 26 and a half. And again, he's been hot. They've been throwing the ball a little bit more. I think I'll take the over there. What's the McPherson? I think go ahead and take the McPherson field goals. I feel better about Butker kicking field goals at home. I think for the Bengals to win, they're going to want to put up touchdowns, not field goals. So McPherson, field goals made. That's been a hot bet for you, though, Justin. You've always been asking about the field goal bets the last couple of weeks. So I would say stick with it. You've made money on those bets. Continue to make those bets. But let's take a peek at the rushing and the receiving numbers. Clyde Edwards, they're not expecting this to be a running game, guys. So 37 and a half for Clyde, 58 and a half for Mixon. Again, this was a low rushing day when these teams met earlier for the Bengals here. The receiving numbers, they got Jamar Chase at 86 and a half. I'm interested there. Higgins at 71 and a half. Tyreek Hill 79. Travis Kelce 76 and a half. So I'm interested in these numbers. Byron Pringle only 36 and a half. Yeah, I'm feeling the Pringle. He's been playing really hot lately. I'll tell you what, I like Mixon over 31 and a half receiving yards. He had a 7 catches when these two teams played earlier this year. He's been playing some good ball. I like Mixon involved as a receiver. Let's actually go look at his game logs and see what he's been up to lately. Where is Mixon game log? So last week, Mixon, 51 yards receiving on 6 catches. The week before, 4 for 28. The week before, 7 for 40, 6 for 70. So 3 out of his last 4 games, Joe Mixon's been over 31 and a half receiving yards. So I think that's a sneaky play there. Again, assuming the game script goes, Chiefs are going to be able to do as they do. The Bengals are going to need to throw the ball to keep up. I don't expect the Bengals to come on in, run the ball with power, and control the game and not have to rely on Joe Burrow. So I do like Mixon in the short passing game. Mixon 3.5 catches. People are smashing the over on this. I could easily see Mixon with 5 or 6 catches for 40, 50 yards. So I think that's one of the strongest bet feels that I have right now is Mixon over his 3.5 catches. That one feels pretty good. But let me know in the comments if you guys have any other crazy thoughts here. I think I've covered most of this game that I wanted to cover. There is some game props in here that we could look at. Bengals team touchdown total. I'm gonna say Bengals getting 3 touchdowns feels good, but I don't know. This could be a low scoring game with a lot of yards, a lot of offense, maybe more field goals in this one. We'll see. Get a boost on Joe Burrow's 2+ touchdown passes boosted to plus 100. That one feels pretty good. I would take that. Joe Burrow, 2 touchdown passes boosted. Go ahead and take that. Joe, again, if the Bengals are going to win, I think you have to do that. Is boosting Mahomes and Burrow to each pass for 250 yards. That one I think you got to take as well. That's a really good bet here. Both guys over 250. I mean that's kind of free money at this point. I think that is a good 5 leg. So Chiefs win. McPherson, Pringle, Mixon, Pat. That feels good, man. That feels good. I mean, the riskiest one, I think it's Pringle. Just he's hard to gamble on the volume. But let's actually go. Pringle the last few games has been hot. I just want to see his target totals over the last few games. So last week he did catch 5 for 29 on 7 targets. So his targets the last few games, 7 targets and 7 targets in both playoff games, 5 and 5 receptions. He did go 5 receptions on 8 targets the last week of the season, 3 for 4, 6 for 7. So 4 of his last 5 games, he's been well over that number. So maybe this is this. I think you cooked something up pretty good here, Justin. I feel good about that. This all looks pretty manageable here. I mean, you look at his target. He's been playing some good ball the last month and a half or so. So I think I'm cool rolling with Pringle there. Let's go ahead and look at the 49ers and the Rams. This one is going to be the evening game tomorrow night. Let's take a peek at the conference specials. Cooper Kupp to have 100 plus receiving yards and the Rams to score 33 plus team points. Feels kind of fun. I don't mind hitting that one for plus 400. You have that is sick. You should definitely that's worth a try. I mean, you've been pretty spot on with the kicking numbers. Chiefs should be able to win this game. Or should I go? What is the number for 3.5 catches? Is it equal to plus 100? I feel good about him getting the touches. So if it's comparable to plus 100, I think you got to go with the catches. Debo to have 1+ rushing and 1+ receiving touchdowns. I don't know if I feel that. Elijah and Cam to combine for 150 plus rushing yards. I don't know about that. Beckham and Kittle to combine for over 150 receiving yards. That one feels fine. Let's take a peek at some of these. The one thing that I did notice, so yeah, then I think you got to go with the 31.5 yards. But in your if you're doing a 5-leg parlay, take the 3.5 catches because that's very likely to happen for him to hit 4 catches. I think that's very that's probably going to happen. But I guess if you take the 31.5 yards, and that's going to make that plus 1,700 even greater. So I feel good about the 3.5. Like it's going to happen. I think he's going to catch at least 4 balls. But that 30, if he goes 4 catches for 28 yards, that's not going to surprise me. So I think you take the catches, play it safe. But anyways, I guess before we look at this game, I want to pull up the old games here. So the 49ers won both games in the season, 31-10. This one in San Francisco, and then this final game of the year, 49ers come back 27-24. This one went to overtime. They outscored them 24-7 in the last, I guess, after the second half. So 49ers have the number. Looking at the numbers from the last game here, Deebo Samuel threw a touchdown. Jimmy G, 316 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Elijah Mitchell, 85 yards. Deebo rushed for a touchdown, and Deebo, he threw for a touchdown as well. Brandon Ayuk had a day, 6 for 107. Deebo Samuel, 4 for 95. Jawan Jennings, 6 for 94 and 2 touchdowns. Nothing else after that. George Kittle, only 5 for 10. Really a weak day there. Stafford in this one, 238, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 5 times. Michelle, nothing. Cooper Kupp, whatever. Cam Akers, 5 carries. But Cooper Kupp, he's going to do what he do. 7 for 118 and a touchdown. Tyler Higbee, though, 6 for 55 and 2 touchdowns. And then nothing for Jefferson or Beckham or really anything here. So the Rams struggled in that game. They also struggled in this game, too. Matt Stafford, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, sacked twice. Darrell Henderson, Michelle couldn't do anything. Cooper Kupp, though, is the constant. 122 yards on 11 catches. Deebo Samuel, back in this game, though, he did rush for a touchdown and caught a touchdown. Kittle, 5 for 15 to score. Jimmy G, man, Jimmy G is sneaky. He might be one of the better quarterback plays this week in fantasy. With 3.5 catches, the odds is plus 400. Yeah, I mean, it just feels safe, man. It just feels safe. I feel like Mixon can, like 31.5 feels really low for Mixon. Maybe you take that on the side so you stick with your 5-leg parlay, and then just take that on the side. Just take that, the over 31.5 on the side. I think that's how I would play it. Because it does feel pretty good. If he's going to get 4 catches, that's going to put him right there at about 31.5. So I feel good about it. But let's get into some of these touchdown bets. I think if you're betting touchdowns in this game, you have to take take the top two guys, Cooper and Debo. These are the most likely guys to score. Debo can do it in so many different ways. Cooper Kupp's just been unstoppable. He's had 2 big games against the 49ers as well. I don't know if I have a good read on the Akers or the Mitchell, but I would guarantee if the Rams run a touchdown in, it's Cam Akers. It's his backfield now, plus 115. I'm interested there. And again, if the 49ers rush for a touchdown, it's going to be Elijah Mitchell. So I do feel good. If there's going to be touchdowns tomorrow, it's likely these 4 guys. Kittle, probably my next favorite to score here. Tyler Higbee did score 2 touchdowns back in this game a few weeks ago, so I'd probably rank him next. Odell Beckham has been playing good, so it's really the usual suspects here for this game, but I don't really have a strong feeling outside of, I guess, these top 4 guys. Again, I'm probably just going to stick to Cooper Kupp and Debo. I'm going to put those guys on the website, I think. And then the rest of this game, I'm probably going to stay like inside of these passing numbers. So Stafford, they're saying he's going to throw over 1.5. They're saying Jimmy Garoppolo, they're taking the under 1.5 here for passing touchdowns. People are taking the Jimmy Garoppolo interception, so that one's kind of fun if you want to hop into there. You hop into that one. Completions, both pretty low numbers for both guys here. Same thing with passing attempts. I want to look at the rushing and the receiving numbers for these guys. Akers at 61.5, that feels manageable. People are actually rolling with the under more so. People are taking the over on Debo rushing yards, 39.5. Maybe we go see what the they don't have a Debo rushing plus receiving number. That's stupid. But I kind of like Elijah at 68.5. That feels low. Receiving wise, Cooper Kupp 101.5. I think I'll take that. I think I'll probably take a Debo. Debo can get a 50 plus yard play in this one all by himself. I like the Debo yards. Jawan Jennings at 24.5 feels kind of low. I'll stick with that. And I like the Beckham here at 52.5. In terms of receptions, I think you got to continue to hit that Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp with 8 receptions. People are just loving that one. A lot of overs here. People are taking Brandon Ayuk over 3.5. People are hitting Cam Akers over. Cam Akers over 2.5 feels pretty good. Debo, people are taking the under. Debo under 4.5. So only 4 catches for Debo. People are taking the under on Elijah Mitchell 1.5. People are taking the over. My bad. People are taking the over on Elijah Mitchell 1.5 and the over on George Kittle 4.5. I like the Kittle over 4.5 as well. Let me see what Justin's got to say here. I think I might do 49ers money line, Stafford 2 TDs, Matt Gay over 1.5 field goals, Kupp TD, Kupp over. Higbee odds are 49ers money line here. I would probably. It's super difficult for a team to beat a team 3 times in a season. I think the 49ers can do it. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. My gut's telling me we're going to see the Chiefs-Rams Super Bowl. But I think for TV wise, I want to see Joe Burrow and the Rams. 49ers, they need to play mistake-free football. They need to pressure Matt Stafford. I'm nervous about if I'm looking at any of these. Like, it all looks good, but I think the 49ers money line turns me off. I think I take the plus 1,400 and I pick the Rams to win it. I'm expecting them to show up. I don't know. 0-2 against when is McVay going to finally beat the 49ers? Like, we just haven't seen it yet. I think the time is coming. So I think I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to take the Rams plus 1,400 over the 49ers. You could take, if you want to hedge the bet, take the 49ers money line on the side. I think that's what I would do. But I'm kind of liking Cam Akers 83.5 yards combined. That one does feel pretty good. Let me see what other fun defensive special teams props. Kicking points, both guys at 6.5. People are taking Matt Gay over, so that's 2 field goals and 2 extra points, basically, or 2 field goals and an extra point even. I would say both kickers are going over 6.5. I feel good about that. Maybe 2 field goals on both sides there. And people are interesting. People are taking the under on Robbie Gould field goals, but taking the over on Matt Gay field goals. Tackles, assists. I'm not a big tackles assist guy. Let me see what else we got here. That's pretty much it. So the game lines. Yeah, I'm interested in the Rams money line. I think you go Rams heavy. Just if you want to counter it, just take the 49ers in a side money line bet, kind of like how we're doing the side bets in the other game before. So I don't know, man. In my heart, I really want to see Joe Burrow make it. I don't think that's likely. We're probably looking at a Chiefs Rams Super Bowl, but I think the 49ers, man, like they have something going right now. That 4-man pass rush. The Rams offensive line's not exactly the greatest health right now. And Stafford's had some nice games here, but they almost just melted against Tampa Bay in the final minutes of that game. So I don't think there's a strong take that Stafford, Stafford's not exactly clutch. We have not seen that yet. We haven't seen them in the playoffs. So I'll see what happens for that. But I don't know. I'm going to say Rams Chiefs Super Bowl, and then we'll go from there. But that's going to do it for today's show. I gotta see what else Justin's got here. Yeah, go ahead and put the NBA picks in for today. Or I can just not bet on that game and do Jimmy G picks or something. Yeah, Jimmy G picks are always fun. Stafford over 280. I just see what I struggle with is this is a divisional game. Both teams know each other very well. The range of outcomes for this game, it could be a rock fight. It could be a shootout. I don't think the 49ers don't want to play a shootout. The Rams want to play a shootout. So I think Stafford over 280 yards. That's probably the best path for them to winning. If the Rams win, Stafford has to play well. So I feel good about that. But go ahead and tell me your picks if you want to tweet them to me. You can do that too. But I'm gonna get out of here for the night. I got some things to take care of. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and if you guys need help, you can always check out my. I have links in the description. If you want to check out the player prop links. Let's see what Justin's got here. Sabonis over 19.5 points. Harris 19.5 points. Grizzlies money line. Nets Heat -4. I like the 19.5 points for both Sabonis and Harris. Sabonis is low. I don't know why that's 19.5. Grizzlies money line. Who are the Grizzlies playing today? I got to look up and see what the schedule looks like today. Let me see. NBA. The NBA. Any games going on right now yet? All right. So you got the Grizzlies money line all day over the Wizards. Nets +8 over the Warriors. Woo! I think the Nets will cover. And the Heat -4. Heat will blow out the Raptors. This looks good, man. This looks really good. I like that, Justin. Good job. But take it easy, man. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you later. Peace.